Good morning, everybody. James from the Wiki from Baltimore. A little bit of a shave here. I haven't seen too many people with a shave on my face. Haven't done that in a while. But let's talk about love here. Let's talk about God. I call him Abba, meaning Father. I'll tell you, most people in this world don't really understand that how to love one another correctly. I know I look a little bit tired, but I just woke up. It happens. But I still want to give praise to Father Abba. I want to praise God for everything He does. Miracle worker. Miracle. Something that occurs that is unexplainable why it happens or why it has occurred. Anyhow, well, back to the situation at hand. All the things in this world that is occurring with all the people walking day by day, daily struggles, hurting, feeling like there's no resolve. I mean, like there's no way to actually pull through and do what you have to do to get by because the love and everything is just not there. I mean, people take things for granted. Is love just a chance where you meet somebody knowing that you can provide financially for them? Oh, okay. Everybody needs help to survive financially, and there's a way, and nothing's really free in this world. I mean, that we know of. I mean, and what's free, you gotta pay a price for. Let me put it that way. Um, but we'll tell you this: no, that's not love. That's not a way to win a heart to somebody and actually, be a human about it. I will say this: that the whole entire world is starting to turn like into like a smartphone, like the one in my hand. It's amazing. Relationships, love. I'm from 83, the year of 1983 to be precise. August the 4th, that's my birthday. Thank you. I am currently 42, and I will be 43 this year. No, this is not me hooking up with somebody or being a dating hotline or nothing like that. I'm just saying. Um, Back in my day, technology wasn't as advanced in general public. For everyone, the general population, I should say. A little whistle with that. The general population. Anyhow, the thing is, relationships. Just for example, this is prime. Back then, you had to meet people in person, face to face. Had to have communication, talk to one another. Lord forbid that you met the person and you're like, hey, you got six figures, nice little house you got there. You own a business. Oh, great. Um, a lot of people didn't just sit there and beat around and say, boom, let's just, you know everything about you and see what I can get from you financially. Um, and not really communicate. I mean, back then, devices, we didn't have those. There was a situation, you couldn't hide behind a computer screen. I mean, literally. Computer? What was that? Cell phone? Come on now. I was 18 years old when I got my first cell phone. It was a Sprint flip phone. Sprint. With the antenna you pull up and a little piece of pull down for the receiver. Little screen about, I don't know, yay big. Little tiny one. Nothing fancy. And it was way more expensive than the service they have today. And let me put it this way. You can only talk after 9 o'clock with Sprint for free. You had data that you had to pay for by the minute. And also, you didn't have all these fancy little games and beautiful screen and internet popping on it and nothing. You didn't have all that. I mean, there was a little tiny game like Snake or whatever that you had to chase things and get big or, whatever, back then, etc., whatever. But the thing is, when people met, They gave each other a chance. They took a chance. Let me tell you a little bit about love. Love's not all about sitting there and figuring it all out right away. Love's about taking chances, making mistakes, learning. To lean on somebody, rely, be devotional, and stand there and stay with them regardless. Your greatest relationships in this world, to be honest with you, have flaws. They have mess ups, they have mistakes. There is not one perfect relationship on this earth. I mean, what is perfect? What is normal? Good question. What is perfect and what's normal? Well, let me tell you. The normal these days is people thinking that they can take and make a robot to be your significant other, to get married, to have intimacy with. And women, just as well as men, equal, don't get me wrong, I am not against anything and anybody's purpose or who they are, what they identify themselves as. I mean, that's your business, and that's between you and God or your higher power, if that's what you like to think. But I'm not shooting that down. Please don't get mad at that also. But my thing is, this is, like, people actually took chances on people back then. People actually sat there and talked and communicated, such as, like, on the phone. You know, you couldn't even see the person, like I'm seeing you right now. But you're like, oh, let's just use the phone and talk. Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you, blah, 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 whatever. You know what I'm saying? Eventually they met in public. I mean, some people, guess they got lucky enough and they got to wham bam, thank you ma'am, have a nice day. And all that up above and beyond, whatever. But they didn't sit here on the phone and they're like, let's just talk and text on the phone because that's love. Or let's not even have a FaceTime with somebody. Because that's the most common things today. People not FaceTiming. And most of them are scammers. I mean, literally scammers. But other than that, let's put it this way. Not if it wasn't the FaceTime, if they actually picked up the phone and communicate with one another, then they can actually hear the voice resonating out of my mouth. You know, or resonating out of one's mouth. To hear the beauty of a sound. You know, the word. I mean, think about this. The Lord said, let there be light. Said, let there be light, right? He used his voice and word, you know? He used the voice and word. You know, words are very powerful. And what you say can change the world. What you say can literally change the world. Imagine that. Imagine that. So when you communicate with somebody and they don't communicate back properly, is that not love or is that just a game to play? The human interaction these days is lacking. I mean, literally lacking. Yeah. I mean, and people want love. What's the statistics on divorce rates? I mean, it's been a while since I looked it up, but one time I heard, if you're lucky, 6 months to a year being together. What happened with that? Oh, yeah. That's because the human interaction between each other is that of two batteries sitting next to each other or two phones side by side. Maybe they'll sync together. And then if people believe that social media is the way all the time, besides going out there, going on a picnic, watching a movie with somebody, going out and have fun. Some people, if they're responsible enough to drink, maybe go to church, grocery store. People met people like people. Get this ready? And we were people, not a smartphone. What? A what? We're not a smartphone? Look. Look. A smartphone. Look, if you hit hard enough, that kind of hurts. A little bit, right? We actually went out and made mistakes back then. Some mistakes can be very costly with people, though. You gotta be careful. I'm not saying, hey, let's go out and just have a intimacy with somebody, or just do it and have a kid right away. Or you might go out there and meet somebody, and then, or you get rejected, right? You might get rejected. It's fine. Because every no you get in life, check this out. Eventually you get a yes. Damn, how does that work? Eventually. Not to mention, somebody might like you, ugly mug. Somebody might not like you, ugly mug. But there's always somebody out there for you. Always somebody. Universally, divinely. Somebody always there. Always there for you. If you could go out there and just be a human sometimes. The worst thing I can say that happens these days is people say, oh, we're in a relationship, we're online dating. Where is the emotion and feeling in dating online? Can you answer me that, people? How do you get more of a feeling from another, right? Just by talking through this electronic glass or or just made plastic piece of my hand. I mean, they say that the world is turning AI. Well, yeah, it is. But back in my day, we didn't make love to a robot. They helped us do things. But, damn, they're doing a lot more today. Because people are getting rejected. Oh, not to mention either man or woman's always looking. I've always heard, I want the best man. I want him to be with me and love me. And I'm always looking for a good man. But the good man always finished last, baby. They finished last because most people want a prick. Imagine that. Somebody's not going to treat you good. But then again, if you had the people skills, right? Got to know them a little bit here and there, like a people person does. Like going on small dates. In general public, mind you. You want to be safe, okay? That be versus a man too. Not just a woman. Women are very powerful. You go, ladies. Do what you gotta do. You can do it. But even when a man sits there and like, let's just hit it and quit it, right? Let's just get it done and over with. Where's the heart, guys? Come on now. Where's the heart? Everybody's living. We're people. Of course, we like the touchy-feely kind of thing. I'm not gonna lie. Had plenty of it. I enjoyed it. Was young, and I learned, and I lived. Went on to my day. But you know, back in my day, though, I mean, we're talking 42 years ago, going on 43 years ago now, people. I know. I guess I don't look it, but maybe that's what it is, because it's my age. But what I'm saying is, here's this. We had people skills, and we communicated like people. I didn't see myself taking myself and putting a filter over my who I am. Right? Or the fact that I didn't even take the motion and the thought in my mind to sit there and say, oh, let's just change the way I'm talking or what I'm saying. Let a computer decide what I'm going to put out of my mouth and change the way I think and the way I look. Because I want somebody else to love me. But then again, I got to sit there and provide ahead of time that I'm going to provide right away for them and not learn. And communicate to be able to make a chance to have a mistake. Because most people do not get a chance to make a mistake in life. Because the people communicational skills between one another and the people person kind of thing going on there, it lacks. It literally lacks. Right? People don't even take chances on people anymore. Literally, I mean, love. It's not the agape love, like they say. Agape, lagape, whatever. That kind of love is what people most feel, but yet a love like a newborn baby that you hold in your arms, or you listen to like sonograms, or listen to the sonogram machine, whatever you want to call it, or the heartbeat, or the fact that you hear babies crying from a distance. Life. One's dying and one's living and one's being born. It's a cycle that just goes over and over. But it's love. But that's the beauty thing about it, right? Because we have that chance to touch one another every once in a while. Have emotion to sit there and cry. Literally, I have a friend that I met. I only knew her like 2 days. 3 at the most. Met her on a bus stop. She was just a good friend. Spiritual, God-fearing woman. Don't get me wrong. She was going through conditions where literally she was battling a condition from drinking alcohol, or, different situations in her life. But I felt the need to help and sit on that bus stop that day to wait for her to at least catch a bus. Okay? And I don't want brownie points, or I don't want your sympathy. I'm just like, oh my God, he's a hero. No. The thing is, I didn't know who she was, and I was worried because she communicated a lot, and she just randomly comes out and talking to people in the world. Get this, right? I'm from Baltimore. Baltimore, Maryland. Look it up. Look up our statistic rates about homicide and all that. There's good in the city. Don't get me wrong. It's not the safest city to be sitting there. Especially, I don't know, between 11:30, maybe 12, 1 o'clock in the morning on a bus stop. But I sat there and made sure she got on that bus. Even if she went back and got something else to drink, she was surprised to see me still sit there after I missed all them buses, just so I knew for some reason she was coming back, right? And don't sit there and wait all day for people because you don't know if they're coming back. Can you predict the future? I don't think so. But anyhow, she came back, okay? And when she came back, I told her I was waiting for her. Not just because I wanted to help her. That's all I wanted to do, was want to help her. I had actually made sure she got to the hospital because she was actually hurting and she had issues going on. Right? So she was heading to the hospital to be seen. Franklin Square Hospital in Rosedale, Maryland, right? So I ride the bus with her all the way there, and I just make sure she gets in properly. Heck, we even made a prayer on the bus. I made a new friend. Would you like that? Because I was a people person. I talked. I communicated. Right? We made some kind of people interaction. Just think about it. And it wasn't by a phone or a computer or technology or AI, like you say, or stuff like that. So I dropped her off at the hospital, and I walked the rest of the way home, which was about 3 miles, whatever, give or take. So anyhow, a day or so went by, and I saw her up at the hospital. Oh, no, I didn't see her. Let me rephrase that. I was on the bus downtown, Inner Harbor, Baltimore. And she calls me, or writes me out of nowhere. She's got to go back up to the hospital. Something's really wrong with her. This and that. I was heading back from the Inner Harbor anyways. I said, you know what? Does anybody sit with you when you go up at the hospital? Are you by yourself? Think about it. She went up there by herself. Nobody there to show her love. To show her people interaction towards one another, right? I told her, I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Didn't even know her. Right. Think about that. I sat in the waiting room with her all that time, not knowing her, just being a supportive people person towards her, right? Even, she invited me back towards her visitation. So I sat there with her. Didn't know her at all. But I showed that people interaction of caring with a heart and soul. Okay? And I wanted nothing out of the deal but a friend. Nothing else. Just somebody to be nice to show caring. So I sat there the entire night. We did not get home until 5 o'clock in the morning. She even offered to give me a lift. Or either Uber or Lyft to get... I told her, I said, no. I said, you're taking money out of your pocket. I'm not worried about it. I had time to walk home. They went through all a series of that. And, I sat there with her and I noticed different signs that day of what her condition was, about why she was sick. Oh, the fluid built up in her legs and, really heavy and swollen legs. The swollen legs. And she kept zoning in and out, drifting off and in. Like literally. And it came over me with the feeling of God inside me, the feeling of God, like, I don't know, living feeling of God, that I told her she might have congested heart failure. Imagine that. You know what? Out of nowhere, she starts bawling her eyes out when I told her that. Now, take granted, I only knew her, like I said, 3 some odd days like that. Didn't know her from nowhere else. Congestive heart failure actually runs in her family. I mean, think about that. Well, I didn't know anything about her, but I was communicating like a people person with a heart, right? So she went through the doctor's appointment, this and that. They gave her medicine, I don't know, for fluid buildup in her legs. Just call your primary care doctor. Touch up if anything else goes wrong. Then I guess, just come back. Like, take it for granted. When that occurred, it was near the weekend. So they didn't want to do their job there anyways. They didn't have the special tax. They didn't have people. Well, here's my thing. If you go through all that schooling in life, what does not make you qualified to do your job properly? I mean, what doesn't? Franklin Square Hospital. I was born there in 1983 of August the 4th. That's where I was born. Okay? Where I was born. So if you work there, you have to have special qualifications during the week to be the people person correctly. Now, if you work there to be that people person for somebody else's health and caring, then you do your job properly. But the thing is, they did an x-ray on her chest. That's a plus. Because when they did that x-ray, and it showed signs, she got a call the day after. There's a chance she might have congested heart failure. I mean, literally. I don't have a degree in PhD or doctorate when it comes to health of people, but did I not see that or feel that, like with the Lord coming over me? And I made that suggestion, but they looked at me like I was freaking stupid. Like I didn't know what I was talking about. But she called me. And now she's being treated for congestive heart failure. She's being treated for other things, but maybe sugar diabetes too. Oh, was that me being a human and understanding that people are people? Just like the dead phone I'm talking on right now to you guys. Not dead. It's not dead because I'm talking. But it doesn't have a soul. People had souls back then. They had a heart. They cared and they made mistakes. You know what I'm saying? They lived and learned. They gave a chance. They didn't look at you because you were the sexiest thing coming all the time. They didn't look at you because you had 6-figure or 8 figures in your banking account. Yeah, people need money to live. Relationships need money to survive and to flourish. Don't get me wrong. But I didn't sit there one day and say, damn, let me look at your account because that's how I'm going to love you. Because how are you going to make me live during the day? I see so many people that show real communication of love and feeling and being human to other people that live on a corner that's homeless with nothing in their accounts. Nothing in their accounts. You know what I'm saying? So think about it. Are we still going to be human one day? Or are we going to turn into this phone that we are talking about? Because one day, the humanity as you know it is going to die off. Because of lack of people-person situations. Because I'll tell you this, if a damn robot is something that's so important and real, and you didn't get that touch and feeling and emotion out of it, think again. Sometimes a relationship is not all about being pretty and sweet about it. The ones that last the longest, everybody, have their flaws, have their mistakes. People make mistakes in life. You know what I'm saying? They do. But it's a communication thing between people to people. More of this story, man men and lady, or ladies, or as you identify yourself as, it's taking a chance on somebody. Going out and being something. Doing something with them. Communicating. And dropping your mask. And showing the real you as a human. You know what I'm saying? The mask. Wow. Imagine that. But anyhow, like I said, this is James from Baltimore, Maryland, USA. James in the Wiki. Nice to meet you. That one day that you know of, that you hear people, or you see people struggling, even a family on a corner that's homeless, and you walk by them, remember this. That could have been you. And also remember this. That's a people thing. They are people. Literally. People with heart that breathe, that bleed. Laugh and cry and giggle and everything else between. So I figure I'd just let you know. Have faith in humanity and people, because one day it might be robots running this world. So you're getting turned from flesh to bone and breathe air to a solid piece of shiny metal with no feeling and no soul and no heart. Bring the love back to the world, people. You need the love. Too much hate, too much hurt, and too much of that's going on. Be the difference maker in this world. Love and be a person to a person. Heart to heart. Open heart. Make some mistakes here sometimes. Just be careful. Just like the girl on the bus stop. She didn't know who I was. But I took a chance to be a friend. And I cared. You know? Be a human. Not a sermon at this moment. But something to think about. Just think about it. Love your neighbor. Love thy enemy. That was the sermon part right there. Love one another. Be a changer in this world of humanity. Be that people person, people. Like I said, people. I didn't say internet, AI, or robot. Have faith in yourself, or believe in yourself. It'll go a long way. Have a chance to take a chance of faith or leap on somebody else sometimes. And get to know them. Because a relationship's not all about knowing them right away. It builds up in time. And that's where love happens. Nothing's ever perfect. Because if your relationship's perfect, then it's not real. Have some problems, learn and live. Love you guys. Like I said, love you guys and ladies. Yes, I said I love you guys. Anyhow, this is James from Baltimore. Be that people person. Make a difference every day. God bless. Have a nice day.